Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and I am super excited about this video. We are going to be making these cute little necklaces that are practically free using canvas drop cloth. This one I made in white canvas. The next one I'm going to show you will be in that oatmeal-y color canvas that I love. Doilies are included. You could use little bits of lace, some buttons, what else do I? Oh, and then these strands of pearls. And I'll tell you where everything came from. So let me just show you where we're going. And this style of necklace, I would probably wear it, you know, with one higher up than the other, but you could do them equal. That's cute too. You could also make it shorter if you wanted. And you could decorate both sides the same. I did not, because I had intended to do it like this, I think. So what do you think? All right, well, let's hop in. As you are joining, tell me where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle, feel free to ask questions. Okay, so like I said, this project starts with canvas duck. What is canvas duck? I don't know why it's called duck, but it's just a really thick canvas that comes in a lot of different colors. You can even get some with patterns. You would buy this at a fabric store. I usually try to get the thickest, stiffest canvas duck that I can get, and I'll buy a couple yards at a time, and then before you know it, it's all used up. This is what I use to make stuffies also. So this is the color we're going to be using today. It's kind of a creamy oatmeal-y color. And the first thing I did was I cut this. I'm calling this the strap. And it's going to be about an inch wide. I tried to write down some of these measurements for you. The strap. This one is 24 inches long by 1 inch wide. So I did my usual thing where you just take a little snip and then you tear it. You know, that kind of thing. And then I fringed up the sides really good. Let's see. And I'm going to measure out 24 inches. On this white one, I will say that I layered up two thicknesses of the strap because, I don't know which way I like it better. I did that because this white canvas duck is not as thick. I'm not going to do that with this oatmeal color. So I'm just going to cut 24 inches, roughly. And so this is going to become the strap. All right? Then the next thing I did is I cut out my circles. This is the white canvas. And you need 4, okay? And they are how I decided what size the canvas circles would be is based on the doilies. So it's roughly about the same size as the doily. And where did the doilies come from? Well, the doilies that I used came from my friend Paula D. She sent me a box, and I believe that these were made by her mother-in-law. All kinds of beautiful things. And I'm not cutting all of them up, but I am cutting a few of them up, and I will use every single little piece, so don't worry. This is what I use to make this white necklace, and I just am using these little center pieces, okay? So you're just going to cut them apart. For the cream colored one, did I make 2 of it? Yeah. I took 2 pieces out, and I'll just put these right back in my stash, and I'll use them for future projects. I just did a fabulous table runner with a bunch of doilies that I think turned out beautiful, and when I'm all finished, I will drop a photo here in the comments. Well, hi, Miss Diane. Okay, so so the first thing you're gonna do is take your little doilies, and these can be whatever size, and you could even skip the doily part if you want. It's just personal preference. I made a very similar style of necklace a few years ago. I think it was September 2023. I made it using this blue color of this frayed edge velvet ribbon from Hobby Lobby. This is not it because I used it all, but I gave those away, so I don't have those anymore to show you. But this is very similar to those necklaces. And okay, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to glue your doilies onto 2 of your little rounds. And how I did that is I just started by putting some hot glue. I'm using my low temperature hot gluing device from Surebonder. Okay, so now the center is glued on here. And then I'm just gonna, this glue disappears pretty easy. So I'm just gonna put a bunch around Do you see what I did? I just kind of did woo, and so I'll just go around the whole thing. And I just stuck my finger in it. You did not hear me crying. I will not have a blister or anything painful because I'm using low temperature hot glue. So I definitely recommend that, especially for this project. Okay, so here's the first one. You could go ahead and trim this a little bit smaller on the back if you want, but it really pretty much disappears. Let's do the second one. And if you only wanted to do one side, you could do that, but you need something to cover up the string of pearls, which I'll give you all the dimensions for that in just a second. What do you guys think so far? If you're liking this idea, do a this or a this. And honestly, I'm not seeing any comments. I hope everything's working okay. I see that a few people are on watching, but I'm not seeing anything from anyone. So let me know if I'm standing here in my craft room talking to myself or if you're watching. Okay, easy peasy. So I have two, one for each side. These little doily circles I think are a little bit bigger than these, but it honestly does not matter. So they have a piece of canvas glued to the back of them. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out this part. Let me take it off. See how I went with 5 strands, but you could do however many you want, and I did different lengths. I did 12, 11, 11, 10, and 9, because I didn't want it to all hang in one big lump. So I'm calling those pearls, and this, my writing's messy, it says 5 strands, so I did a 12, 11, 11, 10, and 9. And I'll get a picture of this when I'm all finished. So let's do that next. Okay, and these are that Hobby Lobby brand, Merchant 41, and they're 3 different sizes. Let's see if it says. And they were not expensive at all. They were this was $4.99, this was $3.99, and this was $5.99. And I feel certain that I purchased these when they had a sale, because I am frugal that way. Okay, this one, they're called Pearl Trim. I don't see that they say the size, but they are 3 different sizes. Okay, so let's start with this medium one. And I'm just going to use my little mat from ChristianCraftPaper.com to measure. Let's do a 12 first. If you want longer, you can do longer. If you want shorter, you can do shorter. It's totally up to you. Let's do an 11 with this little one. And we'll do an 11 with the real big one. 11. I have been fooling around with this project for 2 days now. Diane says she can see and hear me. Good. Okay, so I'm going to do another 11. And these sizes, there's nothing, you know, there's nothing important about that. It's whatever you want. So now let's do a 10 with this medium size. And let's do a 9 with this little one. So I was just thinking, you know, you could make this with any kind of fabric and ribbon that you would like. You could do this a zillion different ways. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is on the back piece. This is the front piece. You know, let's go ahead and attach it to our strap right now, and then we'll do the pearls, and it'll make more sense that way. So this is 24 inches, and I'm just gonna glue my doily covered round at the end. I am going to use some E6000 combined with hot glue when we put the pearls in. Because, you know, hot glue can sometimes just sort of pop loose. So that's why I opted. I'm not using the E6000 for anything else. So you want to put these on the same side. So see, they're both on the same side. And I feel like the hot glue is sufficient for this part. Okay, so this is the start of our, whoops, that's backwards. This is the start of our necklace. Now we're just going to do the pearl thing. And I opted, when I made the white one, to glue the pearls on the back of the back cover piece. So I'm going to just lay these out. Longest to shortest. All right, can you see that? And pull them down here. Okay, and for my back piece, I'm going to put some E6000 on it. And you know what? I think right now, before I actually move to the next step, I'm going to go ahead and cut this a little bit smaller. Because I noticed when I was making this white one that it really did need to be a little bit smaller than the front size of the circle. So, I'm just going to basically be sticking my pearls into this. See that? I just put it at one end. And then I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on here and just start sticking these in. We're kind of laying them on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. want this to come apart, but that is basically what we did. Now let's do the other side. Is all of this making sense to everyone? If you're liking this project, let me know, and I would be glad if you want to sprinkle, please do. If you have friends that like to make jewelry or like to do stuffies or like to make crafts that cost almost nothing, feel free to tell them about this. So I made this one a little bit smaller too, and it's going to go right here. So I'm going to put some of my E6000. And that also, put the lid back on it. And try not to get this on your fingers, because I tell you what, it is hard to get it off. Just trying to think, how do I want to hold it? This was a little bit like wrestling a snake when I did it the first go around. Okay, so let's put some hot glue on here. And I'm just going to start laying my pearls into it. I'm moving as quickly as I can while my hot glue is still hot. Oops. Let's see. This is why you must use low temperature hot glue. Where did I get the doilies? Well, a lot of my doilies I have picked up at different antique malls, garage sales, flea markets. I've had people send them to me and whatnot. And I essentially ran out. And one of my friends sent me some. So this is the ivory, the creamy colored one. I just cut them right out of the center of this. I'll save every little bit of it. We'll do something with this beautiful scalloped edging. And this is the white. So if you're looking for doilies, ask your mom, grandma, sister, next door neighbor, because people used to have doilies. They don't so much anymore. Doilies that I inherited doilies from my grandma. Ask your mom, grandma, sister, next door neighbor, because people used to have doilies. They don't so much anymore. Doilies that I inherited doilies from my grandmother that sat in a cabinet forever until I figured out that I could actually use them for crafting. But look at antique malls. Ask your friends, relatives, if they have any. Cindy says that she got hers at thrift markets, Faye. Thrift shops. Yeah, I'm always looking. My favorite store, my favorite antique mall, Queen of Hearts, that's in my little town. Sometimes I can find them there, but recently they've been priced so ridiculously. Like, I'm just not going to spend $8 or $10 for one doily. And that's what my little antique mall is asking at this point. Okay, see what we've got going on here? There's tons of glue strings. I'll get those cleaned up later. Okay, so let's take our necklace. We're going to be gluing it on the back of this. And I am going to use a teeny bit of E6000 and then more hot glue. Boy, you guys are quiet. Tell me hello and where you're watching from. Okay, and I'm just gonna cover this with a bunch of hot glue to get started. And I'm smushing this over the top. Let me grab another couple more hot glue sticks. It really does look great already. Okay, so let's continue getting this attached. It's not like anyone's going to be swinging on my necklace, but, you know, in case I accidentally, you know, get it hooked on something, I don't want it to come all apart. So now I'm going to go into this part right here. Just put some more glue in there. If I was making this as a gift or selling it, I probably would spend some more time covering the back. But this is basically what that looks like. And here's the front. Isn't it pretty? I was chatting with my friend Diane Brown a couple days ago saying, what should I make? You know, sometimes you just get in that little creative funk. And she said, you haven't done jewelry in a while. Why don't you do some jewelry? I'm like, yeah. So then I started looking to see what project I wanted to do. And I came up with this. I have been doing so many projects with Doilies these days that that's why I opted to do it. Irene says she has a lot of handmade ones of her husband's grandmother, and she has made pillows with them. I have done pillows. I've done several pillows. I did that table runner. I put them in a ton of different crafts over the years. Okay, let me get a paper towel because I got my 6,000 coming out all over the place. Okay, so we're going to attach this other side. Now make sure that you're paying attention so that your necklace will lay flat. So make sure it's not twisted when you're gluing this all together. And when I'm all finished with it, we'll embellish it next, so stay with me. I hope my instructions are clear enough. I think they are. Hi, Andrew. How are you doing? What was I just saying? I can't remember. Oh, the glue strings. I'll just get my heating gun or my blow dryer out, and the glue strings just kind of melt away. Hi, Rhonda. How are you doing? Okay, now let's add a bunch of hot glue. And let's put this on. Just pushing it into the hot glue. I should have been further down. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, so let me just add a little bit more hot glue here. I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller. Glued down. I may end up giving these away. I don't know. I've been doing that a lot lately, and I love doing that. So we'll see. Okay, let me show you what it's looking like, and we will start embellishing. Oh gosh, I just had a panic thinking maybe I had done it wrong. like the combination of this creamy oatmeal color with a creamy doily with these white pearls. You could do bling, you could do any kind of button you wanted. On this one, I was really just fooling around and I did 7 or 8 buttons going down right here. I'm not sure I would do that again, but sometimes it's fun to just experiment. And then I put a button on one side. I think on this one, we'll do buttons on both sides. Let me see. What do I think? This doily is so pretty. I almost don't want to cover the whole thing up. I almost think I'm just going to do some of these little buttons with a shank. Let me open it. Let's try poking one in here and see what we think. That's a lot simpler. Tell me what you guys think. And I don't know how I'm going to lift this up for you to be able to see. But... or should I do a pretty button? The button is really big, then it covers up a lot of the doily, and these doilies are so pretty. If I'm going to do 2 buttons, I want them to be matching. This is pretty because it's kind of a pinkish tone. Okay, don't think I want a button that has a shank because it's not going to lay flat if I do that. Ooh, this is pretty. Let's use this one. We'll just do one side and then I'll look at it, think about it, and decide if I'm going to add more. Where did that go? It's right here. And these little doilies, just so you know, they're not completely flat because they have a bunch of pearls crammed in there. My cross bling would be beautiful for a sparkle on a doily. Yeah. And actually, you know, it would be really, she's talking about some of these crosses from, well, that would be really pretty, from Totally Dazzled. I have some little ones that have pearls on them. Let's see. This is a beautiful one. We'll think about that. If you have never looked at Totally Dazzled and you want to, let me know and I'll get you my affiliate link. Okay, let's open this. Last year they had a deal where they designed a set of bling that looked like vintage buttons and had some crosses that we branded. But I don't think they sell that anymore. Anyways, these are my favorite buttons. And there's lots of pretty pearl ones in here. So let me try that out. I might do that instead of buttons. Okay, let's just get the whole thing open. I absolutely love this one. This is pretty too. And the finish that I like the best, if you end up buying bling from Totally Dazzled, the finish that I like the best is called Antique Bronze. I think this is the winner. So I didn't need to open that after all. But anyways, it's a beautiful set, and they have, oh my goodness, they have all kinds of fabulous things there. They have themed ones that are butterflies, that are summer starfish. They have seasonal things for Christmas. But I like this finish the best. It's called Antique Bronze. And I think we'll do that. We'll use this on one side. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I do want to use a little bit of E6000 to apply this and hot glue so that I make sure that it doesn't pop off. I need my glasses. Kimberly says the spring collection is so fun. Umbrellas and boots. But my cross pack was a winner. I know, I keep hoping that they'll invite me to do a collaboration like that again. Or just reintroduce my collection, which was 10 or 12 beautiful vintage antique looking buttons that were not super blingy. Okay. And my phone is telling me it is tired and about out of power. So I'm going to wrap things up. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty and just different? So I will get close-up pictures because I know it's hard to see here. And I'll post those in the comments on this particular post, and I'll just put them plain on DIY Dreaming. Do a this or a this. That's a heart. If you liked this project, sprinkle, sprinkle, if you feel like it. The supply list is canvas duck in whatever color you prefer. Doilies. These pearl strands from Hobby Lobby. I'll get a picture of those so you can see what they are. Hot glue. You could use bits of lace, bling, buttons, whatever you want. And these are the dimensions. So my strap is 24 inches long by about 1 inch wide. The pearl strands, I have 5 of them, and they are 12, 11, 11, 10, and 9 inches. And I'll get a picture of this and put it in the comments too. Otherwise, just use what you have. Kimberly says she agrees. She likes the antique bronze finish the best too. Alrighty, well before this just drops me out into cyberspace, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again here on DIY Dreaming for lots more crafts that are going to be quick and easy. They're going to be affordable. They're going to be sometimes kind of different, like making a necklace out of doilies and canvas drop cloth. But they're almost always going to involve either faith, family, or